Hello and greetings everyone, welcome to another round of Surviving the Aftermath, a pretty cool post-apocalyptic city builder by Paradox Interactive that I've showed already a few times on my channel. Today I'm collaborating with Paradox to show you this beautiful game once more and its new DLC Shattered Hope that is releasing on November 3rd. If you want to find out more about it, click on the link in the video description or comment section. The moon is shattered in the sky and its fragments are crushing down on Earth, leaving behind devastation. However, we can also use the moon dust for new productions and boosts. There's also a new hope mechanic that you need to keep high or else the colony will crumble. For this we need to build new buildings that reduce stress, such as the trauma center. But before we babble and bobble around too much, let's just jump right into the game, shall we? Alrighty, and here we are now in a new game. We are just one really small survivor in the middle of nowhere, as we can see. And yeah, we have one first goal that we need to do. And that is basically building our first building, the campsite. Only then will the first colonists appear. So let's just quickly have a look around on the map. We do have some forest over there, some planks and food, berries, right? That is the first thing. And over here I can see water that we are going to need for water supply and fishing as well. I think we don't really have a lot of water. There is a bit more, but oh yeah. That's it. There is a bit more, but that's further away. So this is going to be a bit tricky. Other than that, more resources will appear once we build our first house. And then we have the gate. It lies in crumbles, in shambles right now. Our only protection to the outside world. And in that case here, let's just go ahead and build the campsite. And by the way, these maps are always randomly generated. So you always start new. You never know what awaits you out there. There might be some worms or some rats that are going to attack you. Hopefully we will not see that many of these beasts. Let's just have a look. There is already this old road there in the center, as you can see this. It is only a visual effect, but I still would like to use it for my settlement. So I'm going to place my tent a bit further than inside here. There you go, that should be fine. And we will build the rest of the houses then around it. So my one settler that is going over here is building this one now, the tent. And as we can see also, it's day 0, round 0. This is where everything begins, and this is where we're building the tent. Now with the tent, I can already start now getting my shoot the flare, getting my survivors over, but we still should prepare before we do this, right? The first thing is we do have a few buildings available that I can build for free that I need to do before the settlers arrive, and we are also bound by a bit of a time frame there. Let's also quickly have a look around. We do have some ruins here, so some planks that I can see, plastic over there. We have there's also pollution, right? So radiated pollution that we better not touch. And also a metal scrap over there, and then the water that we have. Lots of pollution, by the way, so we need to stay away from it for now until we can clear it off. Now, just let's get started on the first houses here. So here's some general tents that I probably would like to have closer to my campsite here, to my center. So there's the first one, and we do still have a second one that I can also build. Let's just see that we have also a bit of a room there to my camp. There you go. So this is some basic housing. Now this is level 1 tents, right? We can upgrade them as we continue. They're looking rather crappy as of now. And then we still also need some stockpiling for food and storage. And I would definitely like to have my stockpile and my food storage a bit further over here. Reason for that is what I can see is that we do have a lot of resources in this area. So the water gives us water and fish. We do have planks here. We do have metal and plastic here. So this is some advanced production then. So we can make a smaller industry area out of this zone there. And we do have then our stockpiles close by. We still need one more thing. That's the water collector. That is also for free. Water collector. Well, there we have the water. Let's just see that we can place this one in an appropriate matter. It does need a shore, and as we can see there, we would have some high efficiency. There we have a plank that is blocking the way right now, so I cannot do that much here. So we're probably just going to place it somewhere here with the high efficiency. Perfect, and that's it, right? These are our basic buildings, so they're going to be constructed now right away, automatically. There you go. And then also our inner buildings here, right? So my food stock and my stockpile here. So both of them are now operational, however they lack workforce. Everything else is here, so we are getting close to the end of the day 0, so let's shoot the flare. There are survivors waiting for signals from the settler. They're cold and hungry, yet willing to work, should the colony take care of them in return. They can be invited in right away or later. Let's shoot the flare and get us those people in right away. The inhabitants, prompted by the single flare, the rest of the group arrives at the prepared campsite. Despite all the hardship ahead, it's time to rebuild and turn this hostile place into a home. And boy, we're going to do this. We've also finished the first milestone with that. We can also check our milestones then here, right? So this is kind of like a guiding tour. As we can see, completed a 1 out of 23 and our colony prestige that comes with it. So there's going to be lots of stuff here that we need to do. And yeah, well, basically we're going to build it up now, starting our first production. Then as we can see, it is Halloween right now. So we do also have a Halloween flavor in the settlement, right? So some pumpkins there. And also colonists are running around with it. So the dark season, Halloween, and the days of the dead afterwards. Yeah, night is creeping in. What we need to do now is I'm going to move my stock area now for the stockpile, right? So that we get these planks in. So as we can see, we do have some wooden ruins there. And my colonists, if they have time, they're going to collect planks. There you go. And also a cool thing is all of these colonists are simulated, right? They have a name, a history, they have education, they have demands, they have a workplace and a home, they have a family, and also equipment. Right now, only some basic equipment that we have. We're collecting planks now. The other thing is also food. Let's go ahead and just have a look. We do have some berries here. Perhaps I can get some other berries into the work radius there. Those, right? So we're going to clear this area for now, and also the berries that are going to supply us with food. We can also see a appropriate or a approximate consumption and production. Right now we consume 9 food and we do have a 0 production. However, we are just starting up with that. Water is fine with the water supply that we get out of this one. So there's already someone working now, right? So the water collector is our first building basically that requires a workforce, a permanent one. The food storage and the stockpile only operate when some people are available ad hoc. And yeah, the first day is over, it's night, and a new day is beginning. I would like to start now with some road network, right? So on roads, colonies or colonists are just walking faster. And of course, my tent should have its first road around them. And also we have then here this main road kind of like. So we are going over this road that we have there, right? So I just want to connect this one there. It's really just a visual thing, but it's an okay thing, right? So there we have then a big grand avenue here that goes through our town. And in that case, let's go ahead and continue with some more houses then. As we can see, we still have lots of homeless people. So I would like to build another tent. We can do this then as well here, for example. Or I'm going to have another one here by the main road, basically. Oh, it doesn't take long, and a stranger has appeared in the colony. So there's someone here that just joined. The colonists are taken aback as an unfamiliar face appears in the middle of the colony, seemingly out of the blue. Before the colonists have time to raise their pitchforks, the woman speaks up. Lower your weapons, I'm no intruder. So these want shelter, and it's 3 colonists. Let's have them join us. Already we are growing, and we can also see that we have now a total population of 14. 9 of them are carriers. That means they don't have any job right now, and they're just, you know, doing basic stuff like carrying stuff around, which they should better be doing. Let's continue with some more roads here. So I would like to have a double road for this, as this is going to be a bigger road for us. Just for clarification, I like to add some structure there to my villages with roads. And I'm going ahead here now with, let's start with some basic production buildings. So planks we're getting in a lot right now, and plastic also from my gather here, right? So my stockpiles, whenever he's finding planks, he's collecting them. However, we do need plastic as well, and there is a plastic deposit over there. So it might be a good idea to start with a recycler. This one goes to plastic deposits and collects resources and turns that into plastic, right? Oh, there's a plank deposit, so I cannot build here. So probably going to build then right here somewhere, close to my village. We could also have the road though go to the other side, like over here. Actually, let's do it like that and get rid of that once more. Doesn't cost me anything yet anyway. I would like to have it over there, right? A bit further away perhaps, because it's also smelly, I guess. Next thing, definitely something for food is the trapper. Traps small animals to provide the venison. And we do have forests here, so I would definitely like to use the trapper close by. Let's have it also then right next to my recycler over there for now. So these are my first permanent production buildings. As we also can see, the road is coming along. And another thing that we probably should do is, we are at 0 water now. Since 3 people joined, my water consumption goes up, of course. We do also need to provide a well. So this is something that we probably should have then. Yeah, let's have one close to my general production area. So this one. We could have a nice well then just situated here between the houses. There you go. It's all rather small and simple yet. We don't even have anything new researched, so we're still starting out with the basic buildings. And as we can see also, our first production buildings are now coming along. There is my recycler, very important building. With the recycler, one person already takes up the spot right away, and we also need to move the work area right over here to my plastic deposit. So Ella, she's walking over there now and gathering plastic for us. What a nice job. Between all the pollution that we have. Also, the trapper is finished. Let's move the work area where there's a bit more foresty stuff. So he's laying out traps now and collects then, well, the venisons out of that, or the meat out of rabbits, for example. Already the first deposit has been depleted. Perfect. Here we have it. And I would like to use this opportunity right away to also build me a clean water storage. So any kind of surplus water that we produce, we can then store in my clean water storage. And we could have quite a few of them. Let's start with the first one. Let's just see that we can get a right amount in here if I want to. Right, so probably 3 of them. So let's have the first one then here. Because we will need, of course, quite the water supply. And then we make the connection again. Also, we still have some homeless people. Let's go ahead with another tent. Right here then. Like so. And then we have the first block then finished. Next water well has been finished. Or the first one actually. This is automatically producing now water. So it doesn't need workforce. And we have a surplus of 12 again. Construction of the clean water storage can also begin now, as it has received all the resources. Yeah, people still need to sleep outside. They're not particularly happy about that. Now we are out of plastic. I could speed up my production of plastics. Let's do this. Let's add a second person to the building, right? So we double basically now our output for that. And the other thing, we still need to do 2 more very important buildings early on. The outhouse, of course. People want to go to a special place to relieve themselves. We should be careful because the outhouse causes pollution. I should definitely not have it here by my water storages, for example, or my food storages, right? So it's polluting a bit in the surrounding. So let's just have it here in my industry sector. We do have a bit of space there. And a smaller outhouse there might be fine. Let's also not have it too far away from the city though, as people of course want to go there. And here between the trees looks like a nice location to it. Also make a road going over there. And the other thing that I still need to add is a medical tent. So we definitely also need to heal our injured. And let's have this one a bit more central. So here by my main road we can have this very important building right away. Yeah, why not along the main road? Let's also have some more road here. And let's slow it also down on the road building because of course it is consuming time. We can also set a priority, so build next if I want to. Right now we still lack some plastic though. So really, please people, work faster. Also we get the first irradiated colonists, right? So they're glowing greenish. And that means basically that they're sick now, right? So they're losing health. We need to provide them some health care, and that's what the medical tent is for. Some 40 more plastics we do need. The outhouse I think has everything in now. Perfect. So as we can see, outhouse is coming along. This will definitely increase hygiene and also a bit of happiness then for my people. It also needs to be cleaned occasionally as it is raising contamination. Some 8 plastics are in. I think they're being transported, yes, right over to the medical tent. As it is filling up. Also another tent has been finished. I think, yeah, we almost have now homes for everyone. I think one more tent should be fine and then everyone really has a home. At least as long as no one else joins again. So let's go ahead and also have some more tents then that we can still squeeze into this area. Probably one more, just for now, really. Yeah, and we really do need now someone with a medical assistance. However, there we have it now. All the plastic is in and construction of the medical tent has begun. We have now 3 colonies that are irradiated. Alright, also another event. So these events happen throughout the game, completely random, some of them very dangerous, some of them very beneficial. Rotten rations. A wary colonist reports grave news. Some of the food rations appear to have gone bad. Somebody had forgotten to shield them properly, allowing rain and bugs to get into the containers. We lose 20 food, or we keep the food. Since food is not really a problem, I would like to throw it out. And it's done. It's also increasing our happiness by 10. Now, we are down to 80 food though. My food storage is still gathering, right? So berries we have. And the trapper should also start its production now soon. So it's taking a bit of time for it to get the traps out there. But once they're out, it is producing then food for us. I'm probably also going to assign a second person to that. So we speed it up. Yeah, meanwhile, construction of the tent has finished. A new building in our colony, and someone is already taking over Duan. This also leaves us with only 4 carriers left. So for people that are jobless, unemployed, they just carry stuff around, which is also very important. So we always need to have some carriers available, of course. And we should also be seeing now, once he's taking up the position, that people go to the medical tent. There he is. So the medical tent is now operational. And those people with radiation, they go there. And it's already 2 people in, as we can see. And they're already being treated. Next up, to boost my food supply a bit further, I would also like to go for some fishing. It's one of the last buildings that we have available now in the basic building section. Right, because then we need to research new stuff. Problem is water. We do have water here, that's fine. But we do have some radiation there. Let's just see that we can somehow squeeze it in there. Needs to be on the shore. There it is. High efficiency we get out of that. It's far away from the pollution. That's fine. And we can just squeeze it in here happily and people can then fish here by the shore where there's lots of fishes, hopefully. Let's also get us a road here. We don't have one yet. And make the connection complete with our village. Oh, this wooden ruin is almost being completely depleted. The plastic though has way more resources left. 336. We still have 3 irradiated people, but that should be solved now with the first ones being then also treated. There you go. 2 are clean again. 1 more is missing. Sophia. No, and that's it. We were a bit too late there, so it's really harsh. Sophia died. And we were really quick with the medical tent, but that's how quickly you can die in this game. That now means something though. We do need a new building that I hoped I would actually can postpone a bit further. That's a burial pit. So this one here is the final resting place for villagers. We definitely need it. It is increasing morale and also hygiene. Otherwise the corpses would be lying around way too long, right? So we do need a proper location for this one. It also doesn't need to be too close to the village itself there. So here is a nice location, right away from it. We could also have it a bit further here. I think this is also fine. But we will probably need some space here for protection then later on, as this is the main gate. So let's have it a bit further away. There you go. Let's also have a road going through it. Connecting once again our main road with another node of road going away. Also, this tent has been finished. Perfect. So everyone has now a home. As day 3 is coming to an end, we've also finished the next building, the fishing pier. Someone is taking up the job right away. We're at 100 food supplies right now, so I think we're making a good surplus there, having now trapper, collecting berries and also fish. This all adds then one thing, and that is a food variety, right? So we have now 3 types of food, and the more variety we offer for our citizens, the more happier they are, also the more nutritions they have, of course. There's a wild animal just here, so what we could do is, before it starts to attack us, we could attack it with my specialists. What these specialists do, we'll see in a second. But for now, let's just say that we can do certain actions with them, and that is also attacking them. They will at some point, though, attack otherwise, right? So we definitely should do something. And this is looking like a very very large rat. There's a second one appearing. Probably you need some help then. Yep. But she's doing fine, I think. That's number 1. And then there's also the second rat here. Also, we get an event, more than a bit of wool. One of the colonists approaches, looking more than a little nervous. She says that she might be able to provide some clothing for the colony. Her grandmother used to teach her while she was a child. Give her the fiber, 9 of that. Fiber is very rare for us. Do we actually have fiber? We got some 24 fiber left. We can find more later on. 9, okay. And she's handed the fiber and she seems grateful for the trust. As expected, the work takes some time, but she finally returns with 5 clothing. There you go, and we have 12 of them now. And these layers offer protection against the elements like cold and pollution. Right, so there's going to be some winter storms, there's going to be winter, and we do need to prepare for that as well with clothing. But I think we are not that close to winter yet. Now, fishing is done. Now work begins on my burial pit. Going to take a while. Looks like it goes right into the mountain, so this is just perfect. We're going to bury everyone in the mountain. And there it is, finished the burial pit. Someone takes up the job right away. We are down to only 1 carrier now, and this person here is now getting the corpse and transporting it over. However, we don't need to have someone working there all the time, of course. Right, so once the corpse is in, we can put this one to unemployed again. And there she is, finally in the burial place, her last resting place. And that means also now Ilyana can go away, as I hopefully will not have any more corpses in the foreseeable future. And we have 2 carriers again available. Let's just check out our workspaces here. Stockpile is still having now planks here, right? And also my food is still having the berries there. Very important, we should always check this one. Otherwise we might run into problems because they stop working. Plastic, we also have 77 and 153 planks. Water supply, food supply is fine. We have enough shelter for everyone. It is time to start with the next big expansion, and this will really open up the game, and that is our first big building, the gate. The gate opens up the world around the colony for exploration, sending specialists beyond the colony, getting more survivors and also more threats. In that case here, it does cost me 190 planks and 175 plastics, so it's going to take a while, and you can only position it right here on top of these ruins. So let's go ahead and start building that huge construction. In that case, this is going to take a long time, right, before we get everything in here, especially the plastics. The next day is dawning, day 5. The planks are in. Plastic is still missing a bit before that is not in. We cannot finish that construction, so I just really have to wait, and we can just enjoy our beautiful smaller settlement that we have here right now. Sleepy Hollow, by the way, it's called. Who would have thought? We're also gradually clearing up the map, right? So these planks, these deposits disappear. There was another one here that is gone now, opening up more building space then eventually as well for us. As we also can see, the burial pit is radiating pollution around it, so it's a good idea that we have it a bit further away. We can also check the outhouse. It has a bit of pollution around it, not a lot though, right? So we just need to make sure that food or so is not really close by, but that's it. And at the end of day 5, all the resources are in. That means construction can now begin. We only have 2 carriers though available, so it's not going to be so quick. As, well, they also need to do their jobs, carrying stuff around. While the construction continues, another event, smoking salmon. A colonist is being berated and pushed around by their neighbors. Apparently they had fallen asleep while working at the fishery and their little campfire got out of control. Now the building is in danger of burning down. Tell them to fetch the fish or put the fire out first. Let's put out the fire first because we have enough food. And a small group is assigned to put out the fire. They managed to do so, but not before all the fish is burned inside. How's my fishery looking? Oh yeah, it's pretty much damaged. And still smoky. But of course, we are going to repair it, costing me, 10 plastic. No, actually, is it plastic? It is plastic, right? Yeah, it's costing me plastic. In that case, that's it. These buildings look rather basic. Don't be disappointed by that. Every building, almost every building has an upgrade, right? So we could also upgrade then the fishing pier so they look a bit more sophisticated then. But we need to, of course, research that first. Let's go ahead. 93%, 94%. The gate is almost completed. And there you go. Into the vault. We have built the gate. It's now open and the vast vault stands ready for specialists, also for raids. Let's confirm it. Another milestone completed. I just love the Halloween decorations here. You also see the proud banner of Sleepy Hollow. And with that, we also get the first group of survivors. Doesn't take really that long as they're marching in. And also these survivors bring me a specialist. He's a fighter, Brock. So we have then 3 specialists, 7 adults, 3 children, that's quite a lot, and some supplies. Of course, we're going to accept them into our smaller village. My specialists, meanwhile, let's send them to the world map. So we got 3 of them available. I can either keep them on my map, right? So Brock, for example. He could still be stationed here because he's a fighter and there are attacks happening soon at some point anyway. And they could do then their real job, and that is defending us. So let's keep Brock in the village for now. The other 2 have arrived on the world map, so let's go for the world map. And there you go, our proud small village Sleepy Hollow has then its surrounding, and then we got a huge map basically that we will need to explore, where we'll find new resources, survivors, missions, and even can build outposts. But for now, let's focus on what's important, and that is research. There's a museum close by. It has a 0 hazard level, and it has 500 research points. I do have one of them, that is Stella, most likely. And she's focusing on research. So she's very fast with that. 250 research points she can get in 12 hours, right? So that is a very high level. Let's get her to the museum. The other one is Nadia. She is a very good scavenger. So she's got not that much research points, but she got 150% boost to scavenging. So we could send her, for example, here or here to collect tools or clothes. We do have both of them available though right now, so I'm not doing this. I rather send her to the other maps here, scouting. So let's start with that over here. This is going to take a while now, right? So they're going to be busy and we can return to the village again. Because in the village we do have jobs to do. So we have 8 colonists that are homeless right now, and I definitely should provide. Let's go ahead and continue with my next tents, so we can continue with our next smaller block of houses then right here. Let's build 4 of them once again. There you go. And we can still have some more houses than here left and right as well. Pandemic! The first signs of a pandemic are upon us. At first it's just a cough, but then the fever picks up. People start dropping like flies and the colony grinds to a halt. We will have our first catastrophe. And pandemics come in waves, infecting colonists. Untreated colonists will die. Also, we have an increased water consumption, and antibiotics could help speed up the recovery. Do we have antibiotics at the moment? I don't think so. We have some medical supplies. Oh yeah, we have 6 of them. That is okay. And this is now creeping in, right? It will strike in 18 hours. It will then strike fully. At the moment, everyone is kind of like infecting himself. We do have 1 medical tent. I could think about building a second one. We could treat patients much faster with that. So let's actually go ahead with this and have a second medical facility then as well. And also these tents are coming along rather quickly. Perfect. And we have a lot of plastic luckily in store. So in that case, we will be able to finish those things before the pandemic really hits us. In that case, are we still having planks around? Yes, we still have some planks. But as we can see, right, we're gradually now clearing all the plank deposits that we have around our village. So we'll need to think about a permanent industry for woods. For wood then soon. Born and raised, we also have the first colonist that was born here. That is Luna. Luna is already coming out of the tent at the fragile age of 0. And she's now running around, growing up eventually. Probably needs a school. We don't have that yet. And will soon also be a worker for us. The next tent was finished, so we got 4 new tents. I think not all of them are full though, right? This one here is not full yet. So we still have some room left for new people. Also that medical post here is being finished now too. And we got 8 carriers available because we had the survivors joining. That means that we do have also now a second permanent medic here, Sophia, working for our village. And that means 2 of them. And we can now treat up to 4 people at the same time. This should really help us. Meanwhile, what I can also see is we do have the first 250 science points in from our colonists. So we can now open up the tech tree for the first time. And yeah, there's a lot to research. We got 5 trees of research: safety, community, infrastructure, resources, and food. And each one of them opens up new buildings and new production chains. So we can see the game is massive, right? Let's just see what we can do first here. I would like to go for centralized repairs. So this opens up the maintenance depot that repairs buildings automatically. Much more important though is the metal scavenging. With this, we will be able to scavenge metals and ultimately make tools that we're going to need for future production. So let's go ahead. Central repairs costs me 100 research points and also takes 10 hours to research. And this is now happening passively in the background until it is finished. Pandemic hits in 8 hours. We should be prepared, I think. So we have enough medicine and antibiotics, 2 tents. That is also working out. And yeah, everybody's got a home. So far so good. I hope you enjoy this one. Stay tuned.